Instead of mindlessly scrolling on social media or gaming for 2 hours, let's do something more worthwhile with our time. Here's 100 things you can do to progress on your game dev journey. If you want to get better at making games, start small, like really small. Build a tiny game from start to finish in just one day. And if you're stuck on what to make, just recreate a classic like Pong or Tetris, but add your own twist. Copy first and then innovate. Once you've done that, push yourself to think differently. Try another programming language. Even if you never use it again, it rewires your brain and makes you a sharper problem solver. Or take it a step further, learn a second engine. The more tools you know, the more unstoppable you become. And when you're ready for a real challenge, try multiplayer networking. Yes, it's painful, and yes, it will break 100 times. After that, explore Unity entities. It's intimidating at first, but the performance boost lets you create massive worlds without lagging everything to death. Then start thinking about workflow. Why waste time doing the same clicks over and over? Create custom editor tools, build once and save hours forever. And while you're building systems, make a save and load system you can reuse across projects. Next, try implementing A-star pathfinding. At first, it feels like wizardry. Then build an inventory system. Every RPG, every survival game, they all need one. Master it once and it'll be in your toolbox forever. And why stop there? Create a crafting system. It's just combining items, sure, but it forces you to think about progression, economy, and what keeps players motivated. Now, bring your characters to life with an animation state machine. Without it, your hero is just T-posing. And with it, moment feels smooth, human, and alive. If you're feeling brave, learn shader programming. It's intimidating at first, but once you crack it, you can literally bend reality inside your game. Then try porting one of your games to mobile. Touch controls and tiny screens and performance limits. It's a completely different beast. But solving those problems make you think like a pro. Or why not experiment with VR and AR? It stretches your design brain in ways you don't expect. If you're sick of handcrafting every detail, dive into procedural generation. Build systems that create infinite replayability. Worlds that feel alive every time you play. Then add a quest system, or maybe an achievement system. Even the simplest one transforms a sandbox into something that feels like a game with a story. And don't forget performance. Try optimizing your game for low-end hardware. If it runs on a toaster, it'll run anywhere. And once you've done all that, start learning real performance optimization with profilers, batching, and pooling. Yeah, it's boring at first, but this is what separates amateurs from pros. If you're not up for multiplayer, add local co-op, because few things are more satisfying than handing a controller to a friend and watching them laugh at something you built. Now that we got the technical stuff rolling, it's time to make your game actually look like a game. Start simple, create your own tileset. Even a small one gives your world a style that's uniquely yours. And when you're ready, dive into rigging in Blender or Maya. If realistic models feel overwhelming, design a low poly asset pack. It's forgiving, stylish, and you can build a whole world out of simple shapes. Or try pixel art. Tiny grids, huge lessons, shading, color theory, and while you're thinking about visuals, build intuitive UI and user experience. Because if the menu feels clunky, players will quit before they even start the game. Want to flex some effects? Create water or fire shaders. Dynamic elements like these are instant eye candy. Or give your mechanics some personality. Design a character with proper concept art. It's a face that players are supposed to connect to. Then zoom back into the details. Menu icons and interface graphics. They might seem small, but polish lives in those tiny touches. And to keep everything consistent, build a visual style guide. Colors, fonts, and shapes. Without it, your game might end up looking like 5 different projects smashed together. Prototype UI layouts in Figma before you dive into Unity. Level up your texturing game by learning Substance Painter. Design a custom skybox. Then it's time to add juice, screen shakes, VFX, sound feedback. These are invisible details that make gameplay feel satisfying. Build particle effects for explosions, dust clouds, fireworks, little moments that make your world feel alive. Experiment with lighting and post-processing. Even the simplest scene can look AAA with the right glow and color grading. But don't just invent everything yourself, study. Pick an art style you admire. Analyze it and try to replicate it. And hey, if you usually work in 3D, force yourself to make a 2D prototype. Switching perspectives makes you think about design in new ways. Take a step back and just create a single environment scene. No gameplay, no UI, just a mood and a story told through visuals. And when you're ready, share online. You can publish an asset pack. Not only do you improve your craft, but you also put your art out into the world and maybe even earn a little on the side. Now that you can make a good looking game, how do you make it engaging? Sometimes game design feels like magic, but really, it's a skill you can train. Start by grabbing a book like The Art of Game Design by Jesse Schell. It's packed with questions that will make you see games in a whole new way. And while you're reading, learn about the MDA framework, mechanics, dynamics, and aesthetics. It sounds fancy, but it's basically the backbone of why games are fun. Then, don't just think, build. Take pen and paper and make a paper prototype. Board games and card cutouts, whatever you got lying around. Because if you're not ready to code, you can at least try and be creative with it. Next time you play your favorite game, don't just play it. Break it down. Why is it fun? And why do you keep coming back? That's game design gold hidden in plain sight. And once you spotted it, write your own game design document. Even if it's just a page, it forces you to get your ideas out of your head and into something concrete. Try thinking about balance too. Not just difficulty, but the economy of your game. How fast do players progress? When do they hit roadblocks? Balancing is way harder than it looks. And if you want the ultimate crash course on game dev, join a 2-day game jam. Nothing teaches you faster than a deadline breathing down your neck. When you're designing, don't build the whole game at once. Prototype a single mechanic first. Maybe it's really smooth jumping, dashing or shooting. If that one thing feels fun, the rest of the game has a foundation. Study level design. Look at how Mario introduces mechanics without a single tutorial box. That's masterclass design hidden in simplicity. And then test pacing. Games are like music. Fast beats, slow beats, tension and release. If everything's at the same tempo, players get bored. Push yourself to design a boss fight. It's not just about making something hard, it's about building a climax and test of everything the player has learned so far. Or go in the opposite direction and design puzzles. Clever puzzles aren't just mechanics, they're conversations between you and the player. And don't just learn from doing, learn from watching. Breakdowns, postmortems, design talks, seeing how other devs solve problems will expand your toolkit. Once you got the basics, start experimenting. Add random events to your game. See how unpredictability changes the experience. Or design multiple endings. It instantly makes your players feel like their choices matter. But maybe progression itself is what excites you. Design a new form of it. Maybe not XP or levels, but something unique to your world. At the heart of it all is the gameplay loop. What do players do over and over again? If that loop is fun, your game is fun. And don't forget about the story. Study narrative design, because the way you deliver a story is just as important as the story itself. Write some branching dialogue. Maybe even try to like ink. Watch how player choice shapes their emotional connection. Because in the end, game design, it's about building experiences. Moments players remember long after they put the controller down. You can make the best game in the world, but if nobody sees it, does it even exist? That's where publishing and marketing come in. Start by creating a Steam page. Design a capsule image that stands out, because this is literally your game's front door. And once you got that door open, make a 30-second trailer. Short, punchy, and focused on the feel of your game. Then, start telling your story. Launch a devlog on YouTube. Or if video isn't your thing, share your journey in blog posts. Write-ups are still a powerful way to connect with players and other devs. Don't forget Reddit. And of course, use social media. Post short clips, GIFs, screenshots, little snapshots that make people stop scrolling and go, wait, what game is that? When you got some traction, build a Discord community. Build a place where fans can hang out, share ideas and hype each other up. Meanwhile, you gotta stay sharp. Register to newsletters about game marketing, so you're always learning new tricks and trends. Then you can also always give back by sharing some open source code or assets. It builds trust, credibility and sometimes even collaborations. Once you've got a build, send demos to streamers. If even one of them plays your game, you've just reached an audience you never could on your own. But don't rely on luck. Do your research, learn which tags and SEO strategies work best for Steam, because discovery is half the battle. And if you're bold, try crowdfunding. Write a press release too. It feels old school, but journalists still need a story to tell, and you can hand it to them. Collect emails from players who want updates. It might feel boring compared to Twitter or TikTok, but an email list is something you actually own. Then build a personal website and portfolio, because one day you'll want to show not just this game, but everything you've created. Publish a public roadmap if you're comfortable with it. Transparency builds trust. And then always run playtests with friends. You'll be shocked how quickly someone else breaks what you thought was unbreakable. And don't hide your code away forever. Share parts of it on GitHub and you'll attract collaborators. At the end of the day, this isn't just about selling a game, it's about building your brand as a developer. When people recognize your name, your style, your projects, marketing starts being momentum. And game development can feel lonely sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. Building a community and network is powerful. Start by showing up to local game dev meetups. Even one conversation can spark an opportunity you never imagined. And if you want to go bigger, head to industry conferences like GDC or Nordic Game. They're intimidating at first, but you meet people who live and breathe the same passion you do. Of course, you don't even need to leave home. Join online game dev discords and suddenly you've got a community of devs in your pocket. But don't just join. Find a mentor, someone who's already walked the path you want to take. Their guidance can save you years of trial and error. Once you've learned a bit, give back. Collaborate on another developer's project. You'll gain experience, make friends, and learn things you'd never learn working alone. Or apply for internships and freelance gigs. Real-world projects sharpen your skills in ways tutorials never can. If you thrive under pressure, try a hackathon. Working with strangers on a crazy idea in 48 hours teaches you more about teamwork than months on your own. And when you're ready to share, Present your project at a local tech hub. Standing up and showing your work is scary, but it puts you on the radar. You don't have to do it all alone either. Partner with an artist or designer and watch your game evolve. And remember, community is a two-way street. Give feedback on other developers' projects. You'll sharpen your own eye for design and people will be willing to return the favor. Start a podcast about game dev. It's a perfect excuse to reach out to people you admire and actually talk to them. Once you got some traction, cross-promote with other devs. Your audience grows, their audience grows, everyone wins. If staying consistent is hard, find an accountability partner. Someone to keep you honest about your goals and progress. And when you're ready to teach, create tutorials or courses. Explaining what you know not only helps others, it makes you understand it better. You can also volunteer at game events. It's one of the fastest ways to meet industry veterans while giving back to the community. Don't be afraid to reach out to experienced devs directly. A thoughtful message can open doors you never expected. Don't do it all in isolation. Form a mastermind group with other indie devs. Meet regularly, share wins, share struggles, because progress feels so much better when you're not walking the road alone. And after all of that, there's really just one thing that matters most. Don't just consume game dev, create. You can watch tutorials for years, you can read every book, you can plan out the perfect project in your head, but none of it matters until you actually sit down, open the engine, and make something. Your first game will be bad, your 10th might still be bad, but each one is proof that you're learning, that you're improving, and that you're turning your dreams into something real. Because the real progress isn't in finishing your perfect game, it's in becoming the kind of person who never stops improving. Thanks for watching. Now go and build something.